Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and will unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. Excited for it. Love that Jenna's here already. And let's see if we can bring her up. Oh, hello. Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. All good. A morning of calls already, but I'm very excited for this live. It's been a while since I've done a proper live.
Yeah, I feel like we've got so much to say. Let's get to it.
Exactly. Okay, so I love that people are joining. So if you are joining, please give us a little wave. Join in with the conversation. Like, ask questions, engage with us, because we want to. For us, like when Jenna and I were discussing this conversation, we both were in alignment of, we just wanted to show up and just give real value. Like, we want to talk about the areas that we love to talk about and hopefully help some people along the way. So we really want to give actionable, tangible tips. We want to really be able to help you shift those beliefs, give you some stuff to take away and also then to take into the new year with. Like, it's really important for us to just deliver value. So if you are here, please engage with us and let us know if we can help anything. So today, Jenna, we're obviously going to be kind of talking around ending the overspending cycle. So a lot of people that come to me are what I would call, like, I put people into two buckets of categories. Mm-hmm. People come to me and they're either so confident in their area of they're both very confident in their area of expertise, but when it comes to spending money, they either have no control over what they spend, because they're so confident in their ability to earn money, and they really understand the importance of investing into their business for growth, like personal growth, business growth, all of the things, hiring team members. So they're so confident in it that they just spend everything. So it's like money just falls through their hands as quickly as they earn it. So then they're in this kind of cycle of what we call the money-making maven cycle. So they're just earning money, spending money, earning money, spending money, earning money, spending money. And it's just this continuous cycle that they're on. And then the other type of person is the type of person that is too scared to spend money, and that then this kind of impacts their growth, or not just their growth, but it's a part of their mindset as well, because it's like they're too scared to touch their own money, and that's not why they started a business. So they're the kind of two different types of personalities that I interact with. And it's funny, I would say it's like a 50-50 split around the two different types. And what I kind of just want to talk about today is one, ending the overspending cycle and why kind of people, have these limiting beliefs and stuff like that. And then two, helping people feel more confident when it comes to spending money. And because I think it's important as we go into this conversation that it isn't just about earning more money. Like the goal of being an entrepreneur is like financial freedom, financial independence. And I want to be able to help people with the tools to enable them to get there. Sorry, I've been speaking loads already, but I just kind of wanted to set the scope.
Should I say why that happens?
Pardon?
Should we say, well, I want to say why that happens. Why do people get stuck in that loop of earning tons of money but spending it as fast as you're earning it, or not being able to feel safe to invest or safe to spend where you would like to feel safe.
Yes.
Right? It really is so simple. And we can talk, like I'm going to share something in a second in the context of money, but really it is in the context of, it is in any context you want to bring it to, right? The subconscious, when it really comes down to it, is the subconscious is just protecting you. And so when we are born and all throughout childhood, it's the subconscious that's online only, right? And we're like little sponges. We are soaking up everything. We are learning how to be in the world. We're learning everything. We're literally, our brain is being programmed with how to stay safe, right? And it's not necessarily the experiences that we have growing up, but it's what our brain interprets the meaning of that, right? And the emotion that is stored with that then impacts the moves that we make as an adult. Because everything we've ever experienced, heard, witnessed, all of that throughout your entire life is stored subconsciously. And when we are living in the present day moment, what's going on is the subconscious is filtering everything that it is receiving through all the senses, and it is comparing it to everything we've experienced before, and our belief systems and our values and what we think is possible for us, not possible, what is safe, what's not safe, all of this, and it's doing it subconsciously. And then it chooses, based on what's going on, what's there subconsciously, it chooses what to show you to your consciousness, to your conscious, right? And the subconscious will distort, delete, and generalize information before it gets to your conscious mind. And that is how we create our own reality, based on the beliefs that we hold. So what does this mean for us in the context of today's conversation? It's about what the subconscious feels is safe versus what it feels is not safe. So if we talk first of all about that first sort of group of people, the ones who find it really easy to make money, but they're spending it just as fast, what's going on there is a lack of subconscious safety to hold money, right? Anything that is not safe on a subconscious level, the subconscious will make you reject. So the capacity, not just to earn money, because that for those people is safe, right? I can earn money really, really easily. But if we can't hold on to it, we lack that subconscious safety to be able to keep it. Hence, we spend it as soon as we receive it. And that is why the overwhelming majority of lottery winners are broke not long afterwards, because they do not have the safety on a subconscious level to be able to hold that. And then the other group of people, the ones who don't feel safe to spend money, again, it's about safety, and it feels like quite a big concept, but like I'm not going to skirt away from the big concepts, right? So many of us, and until we do this work, we look for safety outside of ourselves. So what that can look like is, being scared to leave a relationship because we're scared to be on our own, or being scared to save money because we need that money in the bank to feel safe, or being scared to leave our current niche that's working really well, even though it bores the pants off us and we really feel excited to change niche to go over here, but we're finding safety in what we're currently doing, right? So it's normal. The subconscious wants to feel safe. It doesn't want that risk. So what we need to do is we need to train the brain to feel safety in whatever we want to have or hold.
Okay. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to ask anybody that's watching now or will be watching on the replay, I would love to know which bucket of type of person that you feel that you fit into. For my own experiences, I'm the second one. I have always been so cautious at spending money, probably for a number of reasons, and I'm more than happy to share. Like, I have no kind of secrets about stuff, but it was always, money was a big thing in our household when we were growing up. Like, both of my parents, like my dad was he had his own business, so every Sunday we would sit there and we would like count the money and all those things. And then obviously I fell into finance as a career. So I kind of become the captain of financial control for everybody. Therefore it made sense. But it was so funny because until I addressed like that deeper feeling of not trusting myself, and that was the big thing for, I would say, it took me until earlier this year to break through that.
Yeah.
I didn't trust myself, so I would save and save and save, but I could never get past a certain amount.
Yeah. I
could always, as soon as I got to close to an amount, something would happen, something would come up, and I'd spend that money. And now I feel as though I kind of addressed a lot of things. I'm still like a work in progress, everyone is, but it's so funny, my money has accumulated so quickly since breaking through that, and it's wild. So that's why I feel like when you reached out about this conversation, I was so aligned to it, because I realized that this is a piece that is missing with some of the clients that I work with, and it's not an area that I would, one, feel like an expert to go into, or two, even want to try and address this with them, because I understand it is such a sacred area and a professional needs to be able to do this. And so with what you do, Jenna, how long have you been doing it, first of all?
So actually not that long. My career before this was in teaching. I was a secondary languages teacher for 12 years. Then I had my twin girls, had a really really hard infertility journey to get them. And then miracles, they came along. And in that process, like those 5 hard years that I went through, like I changed massively as a person, became very spiritual and trusting, and like I had to surrender everything, right? So yeah, it massively changed who I was. Then after maternity leave, I went back into teaching, and I was like, whoa, I am done here. Like, I don't want to sacrifice not being at home with my girls, but I also didn't, like, I was a really good teacher before I had my girls, and I wasn't available for being any less good in the classroom. So I didn't want to like, I don't know what the word is, but what's the word? Yeah, I didn't want to settle for not feeling good enough in either half, and I just felt this call to really help people on a deeper level, having been supported through like the infertility journey. And so I just believe in kind of divine orchestration of things anyway. So I was led to a conversation with somebody who trained as a hypnotherapist, and I knew her from years ago. She was now training hypnotherapists, and I was like, I know this is for me. Trained. And things have gone really, really quickly, because since I've like just started to rely more and more heavily on my intuition. So I am 2.5 years into my business now, and it's changed like hugely in terms of how I do what I do. But yeah, just 2.5 years really. But everything that I share and teach on, I just trust myself in the ways that it comes through, and frameworks and everything. Like, yeah, it's all very fluid.
And it must be so, like, I get a lot of sense of satisfaction with what I do with clients, because you can really see those breakthroughs, and therefore it must be even more powerful with what you do, to be able to see that. We've just had a question come in.
Yay!
So it says, I'm not going to say the name just in case people don't want me to share stuff. It says, what if you have difficulty both earning and spending money? So I'm happy for you to take this, because I think that you're going to be the best type of person to answer this particular question, and I'm happy to chime in where possible if you want to.
Yeah, okay. So whatever is happening externally for us is mirroring something inside. So if it's something that we're not happy with, i.e. we can't earn what we want to earn, or we can't feel safe to spend how we want to spend, that's reflecting something within. And very, very often it's a worthiness piece, right? Because we are conditioned growing up culturally through messages, and through, like, we're bombarded with, you are not worthy unless, or you're just not good enough, And so when we work on our relationship relationship with ourselves to feel worthy, right? We intellectually, we know we're all worthy, but it doesn't matter what we intellectually consciously think. It's what the subconscious believes and feels that matters, because that's what's governing our feelings and our thoughts and our actions ultimately. So when we work on that self-concept of feeling worthy, just because, right? Not worthy if, worthy unless, you know, it's not about that. It's just pure and simply worthy and good enough, simply for being who we are, as we are right now. Not when we've done X amount of healing, no, just good enough and worthy right now. When we get to that place, then you can do whatever you want to do, right? Because you literally feel worthy to just be yourself. And what that means is you don't hide any part of yourself. You don't hold yourself back, because you just feel worthy. So what that might look like is, well, I feel worthy, even though I would like to train in this modality over here. Right now, I know that I'm good enough to help the people that I want to help. So I'm going to trust myself to do that, and I'm going to stop undercharging, because consciously, like I'm talking like from the perspective of an ideal client, right? I hope that's obvious.
That's fine. I got you.
Yeah. But like so many people intellectually, consciously know that they are damaging themselves and their business by undercharging, because we consciously know that a lower price bracket means that people assume the value isn't as much, but they cannot bring themselves to feel safe to charge more. And that is where the inner work comes in, because intellectually you might know that you can charge whatever you want to charge, as long as you fully are embodied in what you are doing and the transformation that you provide, and all of that. If you're fully embodied, it comes over in all of your communication. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it and your energy and all of that. And so we can intellectually know that we're holding ourselves back by undercharging or whatever that might look like, overgiving in our programs, all of the things, right? But unless we do this internal work to feel safe to move how we want to move, you know,
Yeah,
it just feels unsafe.
I completely agree. And you know, as you were kind of talking right there about the undercharging, like I want full transparency with things that I'm like. The reason I'm here on this live with you is because I've done the undercharging, right? Like, you know, even with 22 years experience working with money, you can't, it feels as though you can't really grow past your own opinion of yourself.
100%, yeah. You could have all of the testimonials, and this is the experience that my clients reflect back to me all of the time. They have everybody else saying, you're amazing, but they don't feel it, right? Because of the worthiness work to do. And when we do that, they're like, I actually feel the testimonials that I'm getting, and I feel proud of that, and I'm sharing that, and I'm showing up selling so much more easily because I feel safe to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And what I want to ask you is, obviously, when we were just talking just there about the feelings of unworthiness and stuff like that. Now, would you say that in order to change that, is it like just a switch that you can make the decision, or is it what people think? Like for me, it took me a very, very long time. Like I've been on this journey, I would say, properly for the past 3.5 to 4 years. And I tried a number of different things, and it was just, it almost felt like just one day I was like, oh, it's trust. I don't trust myself that I can do this. And I'm like, well, hold on. If I don't trust myself, then no one's going to trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but at that, the 3.5 years prior to that, I'd done loads of different modalities. I'd done therapy, I'd done energy work, you name it, I'd give it a whirl. And it was just that moment of kind of like clarity on what was actually holding me back. That since that point, honestly, I'm like a different person. Yeah. Entirely different person. So what I want to kind of understand is it what people think? Is it a really, really hard and challenging journey? And does it have to be long and drawn out? And, you know, you know, we know that self-development and personal development isn't easy. We're rewiring. So we know that there are going to be challenges, but can it just be a simple switch of a decision?
Okay, so if you'd have asked me that early on in my career, I'd have said, yes, absolutely, hypnotherapy is wonderful, but this is why I don't do how I do it back then, and how everything that I do has evolved so much to include the mentorship and the own self-awareness pieces. Like every single part of what I do has a real value and importance, because you spend the time in your brain, right? Like I'm not here to be like, pay me forever. Fuck no. Like I'm put you out so that you can coach and up level continuously. Yes, it helps to have mentors and things to spot your blind spots, but actually you can get an insane amount of self-awareness to the point where, like, for example, I've hired a mindset coach, a one-to-one mindset coach, and we virtually do zero mindset work because I'm so fucking self-aware that there's literally nothing left to do, and we can move through stuff together. But it's just 100% been strategy in that container. So I teach like the framework at the top of everything that I do with my clients. I share for free out on my community anyway. It's called the Higher Self System. And it's the framework to be able to up level over and over again. And it starts with, well, it doesn't start with self-awareness. It starts with putting yourself first, because if you're not in a good place, you can't spot your own patterns, right? You're just in survival mode. So that's available via the link in my bio, totally free. But yeah, it's about radical self-awareness.
Yeah.
And the reason I do what I do and the way that I do it is not like, you just need to heal. Like, I'm not available for that narrative, because people get stuck in this loop of heal. And like, they just end up recreating problems because they're looking for something to heal. The way I do it is about, what do you want? Let's get super clear on that. Let's start taking action. It's like a framework called Becoming the Energetic Match. It's like, get clear on what you want, get clear on who you need to be in order to create that reality, and move. Take action, right? Momentum and stuff only shifts when we're taking action. And when you notice the resistance as you are taking action, that's where I come in, and we do the stuff to clear the resistance. Whatever subconscious belief is holding you back, we transmute that, and you just keep taking action, and that's how you change your reality.
Yes.
But yeah, so there's ways to do it quickly with working with me, but also, like, I'm really committed to, like, enabling people to massively change their lives without investing in me too. Hence why I've got my podcast, hence why I do what I do, because it's so important. So yeah, we are going to carry on this conversation, aren't we? Over on my page. I'm so glad that we're doing another round on my page, because I feel like there's so much left to say. So thank you so much for joining here. If you've just joined, me and Christina are going to go over to my page now and go live on there. So thank you for being here. See you over there in a second.
Come and join the conversation. See
you
in
a bit. Okay. Share, first of all, that money is such an avoided topic, right? So many of the entrepreneurs, when I first start to work with them, we talk about money, and I ask them, like, what's the situation with money? How do you feel about it? And it matters so much. So often, where is Christina? Is she coming in? And I'm wondering if it's gonna not work for some reason, because she's not here yet. But anyways, so much of the issue. Oh, she's coming in! Yay! I thought you were not going to be able to come for a second then.
I know. I was like, why are they not letting me on?
Oh, that's good. Right. Okay. So I was just saying that so often we don't take responsibility for our money, and literally everything that we do. Everything that we notice ourselves doing, the action, or quite often the inaction, the things that we're avoiding doing, there is a root cause for that. And I would like to just reflect back that stuff in your external reality is a mirror for you. So your relationship with money, for example, or your relationship with time, but actually let's just focus on money here for a start. Your relationship with money can be a reflection of you. How do you feel about money? How do you treat money? Do you ignore it? And just a little kind of thing to start to ponder on is, your relationship with money, does it reflect your relationship with yourself? And if the answer is no, that might be because you've done a lot of work on yourself, and that is amazing, right? If you feel like your self-worth is in a really good place, but your relationship with money is a bit shocking, then that's okay. Just what happens there is when you do a lot of work on yourself, you up level lots of parts and you up level in a lot of ways, but then sometimes things get left behind. So for example, your relationship with money, this conversation is going to shine a light on that and give you the opportunity to just massively up level the responsibility that you're taking for yourself. So welcome, Christina.
Thank you so much. I'm loving this conversation. It's amazing. And what I would just like to quickly say is, please engage, ask us questions. Like, we want, like, there is nothing more than that makes me glow than to just answer and give tangible, actionable steps. Like, this is what I live for.
Yes, absolutely. So Christina and I were talking in the DMs before we did this, and just like choosing what the topic of conversation was going to be. And Christina was like, I don't need to teach people what they should be and shouldn't be doing with their money. Like, that's so simple. People can go and do that on Google. But the thing is, like, we could talk about that, and yes, it would add value, but would the people actually really go and take action? And you said no. So we've got a different thing to bring to the table. I'm going to pass it over to you, Christina.
Yeah, I think, you know, I've been in this game for a little while now, and you know what you need to do, right? There is, like, we're in a day and age where you can ask any of the devices that surround you on how to manage money, how to save money, all of the things. But what I think there is a lack of focus on is accepting responsibility. And this is something that I'm really focused on at the moment with a lot of my clients, because when you take ownership of your own financial situation, and I don't just talk about this from a client's perspective, I live by what I am sharing. You know, I take it so seriously, because until you accept responsibility that the life that you have or the financial situation that you're in is your responsibility to change, you can't make that difference. And I was having a conversation the other day, and it was all about, like, yes, you know, we aren't taught about how to manage money. We aren't taught much about money when we're growing up, right? And especially for business owners. Then when you start a business, it's a whole new layer of managing money, paying taxes, paying team members. You know, you experience levels of money coming in that you've never experienced before. And so it's kind of, it takes you back a bit, because you're like, I don't really know how to do this. And then you kind of start blaming. You start saying, like, I have people come to me and they're like, you know, I'm no good at money, I'm no good at maths, I'm bad at spending money, I'm a compulsive spender, I'm an impulsive spender, I spend as much as I earn, like all of those things, like, and you beat yourself up for it. But what I want to kind of talk about is, it's not your fault that you feel like that, right? You've never been taught this skill, and it is a skill like any other skill that you're learning, but it is your responsibility to accept that you are the only person that can change it. Mm-hmm. And that is, I think, the most powerful piece here. And, you know, as we start going on, and feel free to interject as much as you want, Jenna, but I think when we were talking on my page where somebody was saying that, you know, what about if you're struggling with earning money and spending money? I think it all starts with a level, and I loved what you said about, it's kind of a reflection of your relationship with money and how you feel about yourself. And what I would add to that is, it all starts with an appreciation for what you already have. And it doesn't matter whether that is £500 in the bank account, even if you're in 10 grand's worth of debt, whatever the figure is, it isn't about, it's disconnecting the fact that your worth is connected to that amount, number one. And then number two, it's laying down the facts of going, okay, I am ready to face the music. I'm ready to take responsibility, and I'm ready to accept that this is where I'm at right now. because you cannot move forward and you cannot match the vibration and the level of energy of a 500k business owner or a £1 million business owner if you're not accepting that you've got £500 in your bank account and you're not appreciating the money that is already there, that is already providing you a living, it's already providing you, you know, the work that you do, like, you know. And I think it's about I'm not an expert in this area, but it's about kind of like rewiring that relationship with the money that you already have. And instead of looking at it like, oh, I've only got £500, I've only got one client, or I've only got 5 clients that, or I'm at, whatever the figure is, it's about going, well, actually, I'm so grateful for this situation. And what I love is if you respect money, it will respect you. You know, it's like anything else in the world. You have to give it the time, and it's a journey. You know, the money that you earn, it will fluctuate over time, but you can't beat yourself up for having a bad month in a business. Like some of the clients that come to me, they will say to me, oh, but you know, we made a loss this month. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't care about that. We planned for it, so don't worry about it. It was a part of it, and we're sacrificing the short term so that we yield a result long term, and that's what we're all about, right? Like, you don't build wealth by having a windfall, like some people can, right? Like, but if you haven't respected the money, like we were talking about on the other page with the lottery winners, if you haven't educated yourself and you haven't accepted that you having this money is a responsibility and you owe it to yourself and to the money to manage it properly, then you're not going to have much left over. So.
Yeah. I'd love to just go back to the point where you're saying if you're not grateful for what you've got now, however little that is, then you're not going to have more than that. Like, and that it's not relevant to money, but that was the shift that I went through in my infertility journey that literally fucking changed my life, right? 4 years into the infertility journey, living with a black cloud of like depression, and like I was a shell of myself. Like, it was so hard. And I did a lot of reading. I got spiritual. I read The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, and I thought I was a grateful person, but I really wasn't, right? That book changed the game of gratitude for me. And I got to a place, I remember I was sat in a restaurant with Tom, my husband, and I was like, do you know what? I'm actually just happy. Like, of course I still want kids, but I'm happy with my life now. And literally 6 weeks later, we had another round of IVF, and that's what worked. And it was purely and simply being grateful for what I already have. And that in terms of, like, I know so much more now than I did back then, but we are energy, right? And we're vibrating. And the law of resonance says that you get more of what you are, not what you want. So in terms of how you show up in your business and in your life, right? They're just a mirror of each other. It's about, are you being empowered or are you being disempowered? Do you have a lack mindset or an abundant mindset? Are you grateful for what you've got? And can you sit in the duality of being grateful for what you've got now, even if it might not look how you want it to look? And grateful for the lessons and the learning and the growth that is happening, while still be excited and being grateful in advance of the vision in your mind, and stay in your own power as you move through the lessons and the growth, even if it looks different to what you expected or hoped or blah, blah, blah. That is an abundant growth mindset. The fixed, lack, disempowered, ungrateful, right? That energy just gets more lack. Lack moves get lack results.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I think, you know, sometimes you don't even realize you have that lack mindset. And so, as an example, for me, it was, I just didn't accept responsibility. Like, it, you know, all these things were happening in my life, and it's like I allowed it to chip away at my own self-worth and self-confidence over the years. Like, you know, realistically, life is not perfect. You know, there will be ups and downs, and that is part of the life's journey. Like, if it's about the challenges that make you stronger and that you learn from, and I think sometimes it's needing to have that self-awareness piece to just stop, to catch yourself, to go, wait, no, this isn't, I do not allow this to impact my self-worth. You know, I've had clients cancel on me. I've had like loads of things, you know, everybody has these things in business. But I think you can either allow it to hinder you or help you. And when you focus on what you don't want, you get more of what you don't want. And that was a real thing for me, of going, well, now, you know, I don't even allow those things to infiltrate my thoughts. It is, I only focus on what I do want. And I look, whenever there is a situation, I'm like, okay, what is the learning? What do I need to learn from this? What am I taking from this? And I have to admit, like, I've gone from strength to strength as a person from it. So I think
So let's say then that people have taken the point that we've given so far as just take responsibility. If they're at a place where they haven't taken responsibility yet, and they're not like judging or blaming themselves for it, but they're like, right, okay, cool, I'm ready to take responsibility. What should they do? Like, where should they start?
The biggest place to start is with your bank account, because that's where your money goes in and out, right? Like, that's your pot. And it's one of the first things that I do with clients is I literally get their bank statement for the last 12 months. And I know this is going to sound so old school and stuff like that, but you can't beat it. And I sit there and I go through line by line with them. I'm like, right, what was this? Where did you spend this? And we put it all together. And through doing that, yes, it's tiresome, but it's that they're addressing it there and then. They're ready to take responsibility so that they're doing it. And two, it gives them so much control that they don't even realize the power that it gives them, because they're like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought, or okay, I can definitely save money on these. I didn't even realize I'm paying for that, you know. And like, one of my clients, she's paying the best part of 15 grand a year just on the smallest task that we could automate, and now we've saved her 15 grand. And but we only do that by going through and that no one wants to go through.
And I'm sure you can spot patterns. And the thing is, like, it's like the same analogy that I use in terms of raising your awareness. It's like you've turned the light on. You're no longer a business owner sat in a dark room, like, wondering what's there. You literally turn the light on by going through the bank statements. And then, like, from a brain perspective, when we don't know, like when we don't take responsibility and we don't know, that is way more anxiety inducing, stressful for our nervous system than if we just look, take action, take responsibility. We're like, okay, cool, I can handle this. So in terms of how it feels on your nervous system, that makes so much sense to do it that way.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, like you said, it's the unknown is always worse than what you think. You know, you build it up. So it's like those tasks that no one ever wants to do, you know, and you build them up until the point where you can't do anything but those tasks. And then you're like, oh, actually, it wasn't that bad. And I think it gives you so much power and control back. And through that, because you've got the clarity, you gain the confidence. And once you have the confidence, you are then able to make so many decisions that make a huge positive impact on your business. Like, I can't even explain to you. I've had conversations with people that have had, you know, like, let's say 10 grand in the bank account, and they're worried about how they're going to pay their payroll next week or next month or whatever it is. And I'll then just go, okay, well, let's just look at the facts.
Yeah.
Let's look at the facts. Let's look at what's happened. Let's see the worst case where we've been here before, blah, 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 blah. And through doing that, just producing the results back to them and showing them the facts, like the next week, I've seen them then completely transform. And they're like, okay, well, yeah, we've just got a 20 grand client and we've got another 10 grand coming back. And then they've gone from 10 grand to 50 grand in the bank.
Yeah, it's such an energy shifter, isn't it?
Yes.
100%. Yeah, amazing. I've loved this conversation. Thank you so much. Guys, if you are watching this and you haven't gone and seen that we've done a live before this, so I would highly recommend, if you haven't been there already, go and check that out on Christina's page. And is there anything that you want to highlight, Christina, before we finish?
No, I think my goal is just to make people financially aware and to reiterate that, one, it is a journey, and it isn't, you can't just expect it to happen. You have to take the steps to, one, be self-aware, one, accept the responsibility, and two, take the action. Yeah. And I feel like through the 2 lives that we've done this morning, we have addressed those areas, and if anyone's got any questions, we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And in 20 minutes, I've got my free weekly coaching call. So if anybody has been here and they're like, oh, I want to ask a question, feel free. Like, go to the link in my bio, sign up for the Bigger Than You coaching call. It's live at 1. Or if you miss this and you're watching after this, you can sign up. It's every week at 1, apart from obviously Christmas period. But yeah, I feel like we're not done here, Christina. I feel like there's something else.
I'd love to know.
People want
it to be a thing.
Yeah.
People want to be something that we do on a regular basis, because I've loved this conversation and I feel like we're definitely helping and making impact.
Yeah, I think so too. Brilliant. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, Jenna. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.